know what everybody is probably thinking. Mrs. Collier, why are we watching you eat lunch? I'll tell you. This week, we are going to be talking all about food, my favorite topic. So this week, we are going to talk about the different kinds of food and also how food is made or grown. So let's get started going over our new sight words for this week and get into our story.
Now let's go over our sight words, or also called our words to know. These are going to be our new sight words for our Journeys Lesson 18 this week. So before we read our cards, let's start by going over our list here on the side. Our first word is food, first, ground, sometimes, under, these, right, your. Let's look at our context cards, which shows how our words to know are used in a sentence. Our first card is for the word food. It says, all kinds of food can grow in a garden. Our second word is the word first. The seeds are planted in the soil first. Next, we have the word ground. Our sentence says, keep the ground near the plants wet. Our fourth card is for the word sometimes. Sometimes pumpkins grow very big. Next, we have the word under. Our card says carrots grow under the ground. Next, we have the word these. These tomatoes are ready to be picked. Our seventh card is for the word right. You can pick pea pods right off of the vine. And our last card is for the word your. It says, what will you plant in your garden? So if you can't tell already, this week we are going to be talking a lot about food. Let's see what we have next. This week we are going to be reading a story called Where Does Food Come From? Now before we get started reading our story, I wanted to talk about our target skill for this week. Last week, our target skill was compare and contrast, and we made the Venn diagram to compare and contrast our two characters, goat and pig. This week, our target skill is author's purpose. We've talked about author's purpose before, but just to remind, authors may write to make you laugh or to give information. The reason an author writes something is called the author's purpose. As you read informational text, think about what the author wants you to learn. You can list the details that explain the purpose in the chart like this one below. We will make a chart later this week during our morning meeting. Our target strategy will be summarize. Stop to tell important details about the topic. Use text evidence. So that means if you were to summarize our story, you could tell me the important details about it and the main idea. Our topic for our story will be agriculture. Do you know where your food comes from? Many fruits and vegetables grow on farms. First, Farmers plant seeds. They take care of the plants. Farmers pick the fruits and vegetables when they are ripe. Then the food is sent to stores for us to buy. You will learn more about food in our story, Where Does Food Come From? Our story today, Where Does Food Come From, is an informational text. That means we are going to learn real facts and see real pictures about our topic. Our essential question is, what do farmers need to grow food? So as we're reading through our story, be thinking about this question. What do farmers need to grow food? So let's get started reading our story, Where Does Food Come From? Written by Shelley Rotner and Gary Goss, and photographs are by Shelley Rotner.
Our essential question is, what do farmers need to grow food?
Cocoa beans are seeds. They grow on cocoa trees. Chocolate is made by crushing and cooking cocoa beans. Hot cocoa is made from chocolate. In our picture on page 92, what do you think this might be a picture of? Well, we just talked a lot about cocoa and cocoa seeds. So if you look closely, it looks like these are the cocoa seeds we were just reading about. We learned a lot of facts about these cocoa beans on both pages. We learned that they are seeds, they grow on trees, and they can make hot cocoa. Have you ever had hot cocoa before? It is delicious. Apples are fruits that grow on trees. An apple is picked right off the tree. Apple juice is made by pressing the juice from apples. So how is apple juice made? The apples are picked from the trees and pressed to make the juice. Potatoes are vegetables. These vegetables grow under the ground. French fries are made from potatoes. How do you think they are able to turn these kind of potatoes into these kind of potatoes? What do you think might be some of the steps into making them into French fries? Maybe first they would wash the potatoes since they've been in the ground. Next, they might cut up the potatoes. And last, they would have to cook them, maybe in a fryer or a stove. Wheat is a grain that grows in fields. Flour can be made by crushing the wheat. Bread is made from flour. Rice is a grain. It grows in wet fields called paddies. Rice that you eat is made by cooking the grain. What do you think is happening in the picture on page 100? looks like he is doing a type of farming. It says that rice grows in wet fields called paddies. He is wearing shorts and a hat. So do you think that the weather might be hot or cold outside? Probably hot. So this is a worker working in the paddies. Corn is grain that grows in fields. Popcorn is made from corn. First, you heat it, and then it pops. Did you know that popcorn came from corn? Pretty cool. Do the children like the food they are eating? How can you tell? So looking at our pictures of the two children eating, do you think that they like what they're eating? When we look at their faces, they are smiling, maybe even laughing a little bit. It looks like they are happy to be eating this food. So I think they are liking what they are eating. Do you agree? Milk comes from cows or sometimes from goats. Butter, cheese, and ice cream are made from milk. Wow! So cows are able to provide us with a lot of different foods. Milk, cheese, and even ice cream can be made from the milk. The eggs you eat are laid by hens. The hens live on farms. There are many ways to cook eggs. Tomatoes grow on vines. Ketchup is made from tomatoes. Honey is made by bees. They bring the nectar of flowers to the hive. Maple syrup is made from sap. The sap drips from maple trees. On page 108, we see the word nectar. What words on this page help us to find out what the word nectar means? The sentence says, they bring the nectar of flowers to the hive. The sentence says, bring the nectar of flowers. That could tell me that nectar is definitely something that comes from flowers. We know when they say they are talking about the bees, so it is something that the bees are bringing from the flowers to the hive. This information could help us decide what the word nectar means. I think that the nectar is the juice or liquid that comes from flowers, and bees can use it to make the honey. Where does your favorite food come from? Wow, I don't know about you, but that story sure made me hungry. I loved getting to learn about all of those different foods and where they came from. Be thinking about what is your favorite food, and do you know where it came from? Now we are going to begin reading our decodable, Ray Trains Dex. This morning we talked about AI and AY and how they both make the A sound, like on our acorn card. Now we are going to be practicing these sounds this week. So as we're reading through our decodable, be looking for words that have the A sound in them. Be sure to be reading along with me at home. Ray Trains Dex by Angie Tubman. Illustrated by Shirley Becks. In the title of our decodable, I noticed that in the name Ray, I see the AY sound that says A. I also see AI in the word trains, trains. So that is an example of words I want to be looking for. Sit, Ray tells Dex. Dex sits. Good dog. So in this sentence it says two names. It says the name Ray and Dex. How do we know who is who? Is the human Ray or Dex? And what about the dog? Well, if we look at our sentence, it says, sit, Ray tells Dex. Dex sits. So we can look at our picture and see, okay, Dex is sitting and Ray told them, so he is talking. So we know that Ray is our human and Dex is the dog. You can also tell from the title of our decodable, it says Ray Trains Dex. And almost always, a person trains a dog, and not a dog trains a person. Stay, Ray tells Dex. At first, Dex stays. He stays and waits when Ray tells him. But then, Dex will not sit and wait. He runs. Why do you think Dex took off running? Do you think he maybe saw something? Let's find out. Dex runs fast. Ray and Dad run as fast as Dex. Stop, Dex, yells Ray. Sit, sit. Dex sits and waits. Oh, so what do you think he was running after? Do you have any guesses? Let's see if you get it right. I think I hear a dog whine, Dad tells Ray. Maybe it needs help. Go, Ray tells Dex. Dex runs. So do Ray and Dad.
Dex sees a dog. The dog's tail is going thump, thump. She is glad to see Dex. Dex sniffs, sniffs, sniffs. This dog has a cut, Dad tells Ray. It is not a bad cut. Ray sees a rock on the ground. I think she got cut on this rock. Do you think so, Dad? Asks Ray. Dad nods as he checks the cut. She is not a stray dog, Dad tells Ray. She has a tag. We will get her food. Then we will call and tell Kay to get her dog. Dad says that this dog has a tag. The tag is located on the dog's collar. The tag says, "Call Kay if you find this dog." Then it has a telephone number. A lot of dogs wear these tags on their collar so that if they get lost, just like we saw here in this story, they are able to know who the owner is and how to contact them. All right, my friends, to end our lesson, we are going to complete a short and quick activity in our reader's notebook. This is going to be on page 31, so I'll circle that page number at the bottom of the screen. So if you need to go grab your reader's notebook, or if you already have it open, that is great too. We are on page 31. Our activity is working with words with AI and AY. So we have been talking about the A sound this morning, and we will be talking about that sound for the rest of the week, just like our acorn card. Our directions tell us to read the words, then circle the word that names the picture. And then you are also going to write the word in the blank. So a few different things to do. Read the word, circle the word, write the word. So for example, let's do number 1 together. We have our picture here, and then we have 2 words underneath it. We know that AI and AY make the A sound. So when you see it in a word, remember that it says A. So here we have a, tray, and ray. So in number 1, is this a picture of a tray or a ray? In number 1, this is a picture of a tray, like a serving tray. So we are going to circle the word, and then we want to write the word here in the blank. So you can use these lines here in the middle to help guide your writing. So T R A Y, tray. So what I want you to do, I want you to look at numbers 2, 3, 4, and 5. You're going to look at this picture, read the words, circle the word, and write it in the blank. And remember, AI and AY both say A. So when you get to the AI or AY in a word, remember it says A. We are going to check our answers during morning meeting tomorrow. So make sure you go through, you answer the rest of them. Circle the word that matches the picture, then write the word in the blank.